Croatia wasn't on my dream list of places to visit. Santorini and Paris were. But after seeing the beauty of Dubrovnik, I realized it really should have been. I think it's kind of a hidden gem in that it might not be the first place you think of when you're planning your first trip to Europe, but we loved Dubrovnik and I couldn't wait to see what Split had to offer. We had a 4.5-hour bus ride from Dubrovnik to Split, and then we used the Bolt app for a pickup from the Split bus station to our hotel. Uber is also an option in Croatia. The hotel was very close, just around the corner, a 10-minute walk, which we could have done, but it was hot and we had luggage, so it was just easier to get a ride. I am so excited to share about this wonderful boutique gem of a hotel that we had the pleasure of staying in. The front desk person was so kind. Thank you. She gave us a map and a whole bunch of recommendations. And they insisted on carrying our bags up for us. There's an outer gate, a door, and then an interior door, so it feels very secure. No elevator. Oh. Right inside the door, there's a walk-in closet where we had plenty of room for our stuff. A nice, well-maintained balcony. I loved the marble flooring all the way up the walls, very spotlessly clean. It had a pedestal sink, but there was still space around to put items and a shelf just above the sink and a towel rack. So functional. This was a superior double room with balcony. This was originally a house built at the end of the 19th century, and it was reconstructed in 2015. It's a family-owned and run hotel, and you can tell that they put a lot of thought and care into the details, the decor, and the way they set up the room.
Oh, great. We have a little fridge.
The bed was really soft, so were the sheets. There were hooks on the wall, which came in very handy to hang things later. The decor was very traditional, but we had all the luxuries of modern day. Most importantly, air conditioning. Breakfast is part of the room rate, and this is the lovely breakfast room that we got to eat in every morning. The pool is very small, but in this area, you're lucky to get a pool at all. The location couldn't be better. It's just a few minutes walk to Old Town. We got there around 5, and after a nap and getting settled in, we did not make it out until 9. We headed straight to Bocamora because they were still open and it was a recommendation from the hotel staff. Love, love, love their pizza, and the prices are reasonable. Roof 68 was a fun place to sit and have a drink. It has a nightclub atmosphere, which can be fun, but the outside perimeter seats are very chill and a nice place to sit and enjoy the views. One random thing I noticed immediately in Split is that there were a lot of guy groups hanging out. I have to mention it because it was just so noticeable. At dinner, walking around, everywhere, all day, every single day. I just couldn't help but notice. This was meant to be our stay out late and party night because we had no plans the next day. And then I checked on a reservation just before we went to bed at like 1:45 a.m., only to realize that we did in fact have plans the next day, painfully early plans that we would have completely missed if I hadn't double checked right then. We made it to breakfast around 7:45, and luckily Riva Harbor is close, so we didn't have far to walk. Oh, that one.
Yeah.
We were the last ones to board, but we made it. Such fun vibes on the boat right away. It's so cute how calm and chill everyone was at the beginning, but I tell you, things changed by the end of the trip. There are over 1,000 islands off the coast of Croatia. Some are more easily accessible than others, and each have something different to offer. So, when you visit, you have to at least make it to one. Some of the most popular are
the most important thing, time to be back. Everybody listen up. Dress up. When we arrive into the port, we need to...
In my wildest dreams, I would come back to Croatia and explore them all on a private yacht. Hvar is the most popular, with a population of about 10,000, and everybody knows everybody and their business. They rely very heavily on tourism, shutting down in the off-season. It has a very active nightlife and is a hot spot for celebrities.
More stairs.
After a quick Hvar Island tour with a tour guide that was included in our boat excursion, we did a partial hike to Fortica Fortress. We were told that we could keep going and actually hike all the way to the fortress, which does require tickets, but because we only had 2 hours total on the island, we were very happy with making it to a top portion that had some nice views and then turning around. I was really glad the sun dipped because it was about 88 degrees and the humidity is about 57. It's pretty warm.
So let's not die.
It only took us about a half hour to
Walk, my son.
hike up to that viewpoint and then explore a bit and turn around and come back. This excursion was an incredible value. We booked it through Viator, 8 hours, 3 swim breaks, plus 2 hours at Hvar with a mini tour, lunch and snacks included, all-inclusive drinks including beer and wine, excellent music, fun, friendly staff. I'm not a super strong swimmer at all, so I was nervous about getting in that deep water without a life jacket. One of the staff members was so nice, she made it her mission to get me in there. She grabbed me that inner tube. It felt great. I wish I had done it sooner, and I love that there were no fish, at least none that I saw. We had the time of our lives. I am not even joking. After the last swim break, it turned into a dance party at sea. It was such a good time. We were dancing so hard, I thought we might sink the boat. If you want to get excited and let loose, this is the tour you would want to book. I'm so glad we did not miss it. The playlist they had going was perfect. So fun. I'm not the best dancer, but I absolutely love it. It brings me so much joy. It was so much fun, I didn't want it to end. Breakfast every morning at Splendida was such a pleasure. The cheese, meats, and bread selection was so good. They bring you coffee or OJ. If you want eggs, an omelet, or a crepe, they will make it for you. Simple menu, but it was a satisfying breakfast and a great way to start our day. We were so ready to get out there and finally see the old city in the light of day, and what a treat. Split is the second largest city in Croatia after the capital, which is Zagreb. I love how it's a maze of pretty architecture and narrow walkways turning this way and that, and you never know what's around the corner. Something really interesting about the old city is that parts of it is also a palace, which was built a really long time ago at the end of the 3rd century as a residence for the Roman Emperor Diocletian. Its massive size makes it more of a fortress, and today it makes up about half of the old town. So, as you're strolling through the old city, you're also strolling through the remains of a palace. And this part of the old city is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
See the sign? He found it. Oh no. Don't look.
It would have taken about an hour and a half to 2 hours round trip to get to the highest peak of Marjan Park, and over 300 additional steps beyond these.
Oh boy.
We definitely had more stairs in Dubrovnik, and that was daily. But after that, I was just really over stairs, and I wasn't prepared for a hike. Normally, I'm the type that wants to take every trail as far as I can go and make it to the top, but I was out of gas. Too hot. Once we got to the first viewpoint, that was good enough for me. If we were to continue, we would have headed that way. After we cooled off a bit, we headed to Diocletian's palace. We bought tickets to go into the excavated remains of the basement. The entrance to the basement was the original entrance from the sea. The palace originally butted up right against the ocean with no walkway how it is today. The tickets were cheap, something like €5. This area has some interesting artifacts. It was quiet and less crowded, and it really gave you the sense of what it might have been like to roam the massive stone halls of a fortress back in the day. And it also provided a welcome relief from the heat. This palace was actually built to be Diocletian's retirement home, and it remains as one of the best preserved monuments of the Roman architecture in the world. Parts of Game of Thrones Season 4 was filmed in Split's old city, and this location is where Daenerys kept her dragons. People actually live in this section of the palace. You know what time it is. This is the statue of Bishop Gregory Nin. He is important because he introduced the Croatian language into religious services when previously it was only Latin, which most people could not understand. We were told it's good luck to rub his toe.
Water. Gotta hydrate. Yes.
We wanted to get some relief from the heat and take advantage of that pretty little pool. I was so impressed with just how well maintained the area was. This outdoor area was a perfect oasis.
How does it feel?
Refreshing.
Finally not hot. Stop. My phone. Drop my phone.
Dunking my head felt so good, I wanted to cry. On our way to dinner, we stumbled across this boy singing in the plaza, and he was so good, it moved me to tears. Something tells me that this kid was probably born to be a singer. Back to Bocamora. The pizza there is just so good, and the first time we split it, but this time we each got our own. And by this time it was about 11, and we were looking for a place to have a drink, but looks like most of the places were shutting down.
Look at you going down this back alley. Silly. be documented. Yum.
There were a few nightclubs, but you could feel the heat coming out of them as there is no AC.
Thank goodness for AC, I'm telling you. Woo! We're gonna try this Azushko lager. What do you think?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I like it too. See, we got our drink after all tonight.
This is what moving day looks like, and this time around we were a little bit more strategic with the way we packed our luggage in case something went missing like it did last time. Top of that, we got an email from Austrian Air saying that our flight was almost fully booked, cabin storage is limited, and we should check in our carry-on bags. No additional charge. Sherpa of my things. Okay. I was not happy to see that after what we went through on our last flight. The day before was day 3 of that painful red rash, so I did an e-visit with my doctor and found out the next day I had shingles and needed to start medication immediately. I wasn't letting it stop my fun, but it was really bothering me and I didn't want it to get worse. Why do these things happen?
On vacation.
I am so lucky that I got those meds before we left because we didn't know it yet, but we had another insane travel day ahead of us to get to Venice. Mihaela insisted on helping us out with our bags. She was so kind, really above and beyond on customer service. And she also arranged our transportation to the airport, which was really helpful. We really loved Split. So beautiful, such good vibes. I'm glad we were able to fit Dubrovnik and Split into our travel plans because I would have hated to miss out on either one. We found out that there was a cyber attack on the Split airport computer system just 2 days prior. All flights were canceled, and this was just days after the CrowdStrike IT outage, which we also narrowly missed. So we were a little bit worried about what was in store for us. The airport was crowded. We waited about 30 minutes to check our bags. We didn't volunteer to check in our carry-ons, and they didn't make us. And then, before we got on the plane, we were asked to visually identify our luggage so that they could put it on the plane. Because of the outage, that is how they were tracking our luggage, which was a little alarming. Unfortunately, our flight was delayed, but we were wheels up and on our way to Venice, Italy.